Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit on the different side. I'm going to be doing a first impressions gameplay video, but I'm going to be doing it with my audio done in post and with the gameplay footage edited down. And I decided I didn't want to start with a game that's like brand new or anything. And this is actually a game I got off of Keymailer ages ago and just never got around to it, and I'm correcting that now. So yeah, that's what's gonna go on here. Oh, you can see me. So what is this game? Essentially, you get into a you're an archaeologist and you're looking around on this island. You come across a suit, like an exosuit, that allows you to basically haul ass through the hills and such. It also gives you the ability to basically suck life out of trees and animals and feed it back into other trees and animals. And that's kind of how the mechanics go. And as you go along, you start collecting different power ups. Later on, you'll see a grappling hook. Pretty soon in these clips, you'll see me get a double jump, which your movement options start off pretty significant, and it only goes up from there. Jumping, you might have saw in that clip right there. Jumping looks a little bit floaty. You can see that a little. You can basically see that in any of the jumps I'm making. Oh yeah, here's where I get the double jump. So yeah, you. If I had to describe what I would compare this to, I'd probably compare it to a walking simulator more than I'd compare it to like an adventure game or like a platformer, because there is combat to an extent, but combat is not the main goal here. And you do have to do some like trickier platforming, but it's more puzzle solving than anything else, like, figuring out where you got to go. One of the negatives I'll say about this game, and it's actually something that's that kind of plagued me through a lot of the areas, but I could probably fix it through just altering the graphics settings. But like, the game's default brightness is way too dark. It was actually kind of tough to see for when I went to caves. But open areas, they tend to be a lot better. Sometimes there's a lot of shadows, and I think the shadow intensity is kind of what does it. Yeah, there's some little bit more of the combat. You get these kind of like energy flies. Essentially, the suit you wear runs off of the energy that comes from those little orbs I keep picking up. It can also siphon energy out of animals and plants, which is why you were able to, like, feed it into enemies, and or feed it into like wildlife, and feed it into essentially, when you fight, you feed energy into those flies and it pacifies them. So it's not like combat, and I don't know, like, this is a first impressions, so there might be more combat later on. But yeah, I left in a lot of these clips where I'm like busting through walls and floors because I thought those were like really cool. And it's right around here, I think, where I get the grappling hook. Oh yeah, there it is. You do have like a story, and you find notes like those littered around. Usually the notes will talk about kind of what the power up you're picking up does. So you do get some dialogue from audio tapes and such. So that's kind of how the story's conveyed, and you get this sense that there was like scientists trying to research the like phenomenon on this island, like these orbs, There's these little like ghost wisp things. The game calls them demons. At least I think that's what they were called. Um, yeah, and there's a little bit more get grappling hook gameplay there. Anyway, so the scientists are just trying to research it. They're trying to be friendly about things, and then there's like a military, and the military is what made these suits. And they were kind of trying to keep things under wraps, it seems. I'm sure more of the story will open up, like, as I play forward. Early impressions of the story, it's kind of intriguing. Like, it's like one of those things where you'd say you're following a breadcrumb trail. Like I said, walking simulator. But unlike a lot of like games in the genre of walking simulator, this one's got a little bit more gameplay and a little bit more. When I think of a walking simulator, I think of like the Stanley Parable and I think it's the Unfinished Swan. I don't play too many walking simulators, but I think of puzzle-like gameplay, which is kind of here, but here it's more discover where you gotta go, and the platforming is a little bit more than what you would get. But the reason I wouldn't call this a platformer is because the platforming is heavily substituted by the mech suit that you're wearing. Like, I found a lot of the only time I really like screwed up a jump or ended up like getting either failing a jump, falling off a cliff, falling off to a lower area and having to redo a section, things like that. The only time that really ever happened was when I was either unsure which direction I was supposed to jump, or situations where I wanted to try to like boundary break. So a lot of people point this out in conversations about platformers, but when you give a character in a platformer too much mobility, like you give them really fast movement, you give them the ability to like jump super high, you give them the most of the time this conversation is surrounding the double jump in games and whether or not that's actually a good system to add to platformers, or if it makes platformers kind of too easy. And in this one, it kind of does, but like I said, I'm not really counting this as a platformer so much as a walking simulator. Over here, you get to see me kind of steal life from one of the demons, and it's kind of cute. They when you steal their energy, they don't die or just kind of stop like the deer do. They sort of get sad, and then like you give them their energy and they get happy again. Here we got like one last fight with my first encounter with a new enemy that's more aggressive. And yeah, that's about it for my first impressions. I know it's kind of rambly. This is sort of an experiment. I'm trying to see, like, exactly what I want to do with this. I'm still workshopping it a bit. But if you like this style of video, then, let me know in the comments. Maybe give the video a like, and subscribe if you want to see more. I've already got the recording for the next one of these made, and I'm gonna edit it as soon as this one's up. So anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one, guys.